Is it easier to transition from striker to grappler or vice versa? I think it's better to go from wrestling grappling to striking than striking to wrestling grappling. Why? I believe like when you're wrestling at a young age and you're doing jiu-jitsu at a young age, you develop a strength. You develop like a robustness because we're constantly pulling on your joints, on your neck, on your back. You're constantly squeezing, transit. It's so much like you're grinding your gears. It's a tough business, mentally tough too. Where striking is great, of course. Striking is also tough. It's a very difficult sport as well. But you're not getting the joint strength. I feel like when you wrestle, your joints are the tendons in your body are really strong, etc. It just develops another level of strength. So then when you teach them striking, they're like better athletes. I find that they're better athletes. They hit harder. They're more tenacious. They could take shots better. Why? They're just built like metal. It's crazy. So I rather like my kids. They're young. I make them do a lot of wrestling and jiu-jitsu, very little striking. And here's the other thing: is that the thing is, I don't want you to strike till you're older, till your brain is fully developed.
Well, I'm going to have to say I agree with Mr. Zahabi here because for those of you who don't know me, I started off as a boxer and I had two amateur fights before I even started training grappling for real. And the one thing I could say that I definitely agree with is that the robustness and strength and athleticism that you build from wrestling is real. And when I say that, I am being 100% honest. I went through boxing training. I hit the bag all the time. I ran. I did sprints all the time. I was always constantly doing push ups and other calisthenics and body weight stuff. But it wasn't until wrestling, it wasn't until I started pulling on people, throwing people around, and doing all this that I really built the punching power to knock somebody out. A lot of wrestlers, they move like gymnasts. These dudes are warming up doing cartwheels, back handsprings, and backflips and all kinds of stuff. And for me to see that and go to a wrestling club, compete with all these high school kids, it definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things. It wasn't until after I started wrestling that I learned how to do a back handspring. It wasn't until I started wrestling that I started really focusing on my tumbling and being coordinated like that. And also, when you do tumbling, you're really learning how to coordinate your body with your core and your lower body with your top half of your body. And that ties in a lot with throwing a punch and just moving around and wrestling people and being in that low stance just really teaches you to stay in a base. And Firas Zahabi also said the tenaciousness that you build from wrestling because it's such a grueling and tough sport that it's really balls to the wall 100% of the time, and it's pin or be pinned. So you're not trying to end up on your back and you're trying to put this guy down and hold him down while he's trying not to let you hold him down, and that can be a very difficult thing. And when kids do it from when they're young, I agree. I think the wrestlers that I've met are much harder punches. If you look at Bo Nickel, he wrestled his whole life and all throughout college. And I'm not saying that he's the best UFC fighter, but he went into the UFC and just started knocking people out. And this guy's a wrestler. And why is that? I think it's because of the strength that you build through wrestling. It's a different kind of strength. And I really recommend all strikers to do some level of wrestling because the workouts and the warm ups and the tumbling and the neck work and the bridging, all that stuff can make you so powerful and robust for striking, for boxing, for any martial art, for MMA. It is really, truly, I believe it is the gateway martial art. It is the true martial art because every single animal in the animal kingdom wrestles. And every single human, if you look at babies and you look at the way they play, they wrestle, and it's just the most natural, most raw form of human fighting. Our fists are not really meant to ball up into a fist and punch somebody in the face. They're not really meant to do that. Our bone structure is not really meant for that, but we are built to wrestle. So I want you guys to take that into consideration. And if you like videos like this and you want to see more of them, then like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.